This is the most Mon Mothma character development we've ever had, and she's been in like 3 movies already. I'm Gayfesh, and today we'll be talking Star Wars Andor, Season 1, Episode 4, Aldhani. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Spoilers ahead. I'm really glad that we got 3 episodes last week, because the pace at which the plot moves really makes you want to get to the next one. I know I talked about preferring episodes coming out weekly because it lets us do this water cooler thing, but this episode feels like all set up for next week. There's some good character development, but it really feels like it ended right at the start of Act 2. So Luthen gives Cassian the whole inspirational speech thing, trying to get him to fight for something bigger than himself. Cassian's not fully convinced, but a big payday is enough to get him to agree to a job. Luthen also gives Cassian a Kyber crystal as a security deposit, but makes it clear that it holds much sentimental value for him. Was Luthen a Jedi? Or close to one? The job involves ripping off quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial sector, and has apparently been in the works for months, maybe years, but Luthen doesn't have full confidence in the team and brings Cassian in 3 days before they execute. Nobody is happy with that arrangement, but Luthen gets the team leader Vel to defend Cassian, who's going by the name Clem for the mission. We're introduced to a lot of new faces and names for this mission, but I don't know who to get attached to yet. After all, we barely saw anyone from the last 3 episodes come back. I suspect this show might be giving us little 3-episode arcs. While they're off wearing ponchos in the space foothills, Luthen returns to Coruscant. His day job and cover is as the curator of a high-end art and artifact gallery. Mon Mothma shows up to ask about the status of the job, and we get a sliver of a look into her life as a senator. Despite living in a house with marble walls, she feels very trapped and vulnerable in her position, with political enemies and Imperial spies watching her every move. She's got a husband who also seems to suck, as he is hosting a dinner with several of her political rivals invited. Cyril Karn and the other corporate security get fired for bungling their attempt to apprehend Cassian, and the Empire uses this as an opportunity to spread their direct control further out, taking over security for those sectors. Cyril goes home in disgrace to his mother, but I doubt this is the last we'll see of him. This may be a good turning point for him, in fact. Would be cool to see him and Cassian work together. And to further my suspicions that he might not remain a villain, we're introduced to a brand new one who's probably the more proper threat. Deidre Miro is an Imperial intelligence agent. It's the Gestapo and KGB all rolled into one. While the incident on Ferrix is outside her jurisdiction, she is noticing a pattern of behavior that indicates coordinated rebel moves. But she's just a lieutenant, and basically everyone is telling her to stick to her assigned sectors and do grunt work. I think this is going to be a recurring theme we see here. The Empire's arrogance and incompetence at the higher levels of power prevent them from properly seeing the formation of the rebellion. An unfortunate and incorrect portrayal of real-life fascism is that it was brutal but efficient. Mussolini kept the trains running on time, that sort of drivel. None of it's true, of course. The Nazi Party was horrendously incompetent and full of backstabbing and lying to cover their asses, all while they attempted to project the aura of ruthless efficiency, but it's all just propaganda. Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode down below.
Luthen being a flamboyant gallery curator was not the cover that I expected to see. He even has a poofy hairstyle.
Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to my Patreon to get shouted out in future videos. Check out my Bandcamp for banging tunes, including all the tracks you heard in this video. Follow me on Twitter at GayestFesh, and don't forget to check out my podcast, The Rest of Both Worlds, where I go through Star Trek The Next Generation with a friend who's never seen it. Thank you to all my patrons, with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Renee Vorbeck. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you all in the next video.